Okay, grab your rucksack, cinch up your lederhosen. We're going to the mountains. And don't forget your Swiss Army knife. And in this case, I think an excellent choice would be the Alpineer. This is a special production run passenger, which is a retired model, probably from the early 1980s. And the passenger was a 3-layer model with a magnifying glass and inline Phillips, but no scissors. So it was kind of the predecessor to the Explorer, which had all that plus scissors. And I think the Passenger and the Scientist were the only two models that did have the magnifying glass, but no scissors. But pretty much everything I've learned about this knife I learned from SacWiki and Smart Knives and a fellow YouTuber, Swiss Army Dan. Swiss Army Dan's got a lot of great videos and a lot of cool knives, and he did a video on this very particular knife. So I'll put a link to that video in the description box below. Go check it out. Go check out his channel, Swiss Army Dan. Okay, well, let me see if my battery will let me finish this. But to paraphrase SacWiki, Victorinox reported the exact date of production for this tool configuration could not be determined. But it was probably available prior to 1992 as a special production. The Alpineer appears to be one of those special productions. And they also said examples of the Passenger have been found going back as early as the 1970s. I wouldn't think they'd go back further than 1973 because that was the year that Victorinox introduced the magnifying glass. And because of that, I would think all the ones you would find would have the spear point pen blade instead of the clip point pen blade, which the clip point was discontinued in '73. So I date this knife from somewhere from 1983 to 1985, just based on the tools. First of all, the reamer has no sewing eye, so that's pre-1985. And then the corkscrew is a grooved 4-turn corkscrew, and Victorinox went to that from the 5-turn in 1983. So that's why I'm saying maybe somewhere between 1983 and 1985. But the curious thing about it is it does have an aluminum tipped tweezer, and I thought that was discontinued. They went to the plastic tipped tweezer in 1978. But you know, it could be that they just continued to use old stock for a while, or this tweezer was a replacement from old stock. You just never know. It's got this great looking metal inlay. It doesn't have a Victorinox symbol on it, shield anywhere. This looks like stainless steel. Victorinox went from nickel silver to stainless steel in 1980, so that would make sense. I will be selling this knife on my Etsy shop, so if you're interested in it, you might want to take a good look at it. Here's a view of the top. Everything fits just fine. Everything's straight, full. The action on the knife's pretty good. It's clicky. Liners look good. Scales look good. But just look at the tools. Opening layer first. Here's the can opener, small screwdriver. Here is the large screwdriver cap lifter. No 90-degree stop on that, so that's a pre-85 feature. We looked at the magnifying glass, but they used these magnifying glasses from like 1973 up until like 2004 with the gray housing here, and then they went to a clear housing and plastic lens, although I think they've gone back to a glass lens. Now these earlier ones were like 8 times the magnification, so very strong, you can see. And then across from that is your inline Phillips. It does have a 90-degree stop. These have great lockup, by the way, really tight. Now this is the longer version. There's a shorter version. When they started making these with the clear plastic, they got longer. They got less powerful, but they got longer, bigger, and so this tool got a little shorter. And then the blades, you know, spear point pen blade. And this has a good edge on it. I've sharpened these blades. And then the main blade, get turned around here. Here we go. I've polished this blade. I tend not to polish the era of blades that have the stone washing on them unless I have to. This one had a lot of fine scratches, so many that it looked kind of frosted. So now you can see that it has kind of a mirror finish on it. And I've sharpened it. It's got a great edge on it. Full and straight. Tank stamp reads Victorinox, Switzerland stainless Ross Fry, and on the other side Officier Swiss with the crossbow and the cross. So that's the knife. It's really clean inside. I won't bother to open it up again. But anyway, if you're interested in purchasing that, go take a look at it on Etsy. And here for your enjoyment is my clickbait again. Yodelay-hoo-hoo.